So there's this Egyptian muhaddith, Sheikh Abu Ishaq al-Huwaini, hafidhullah, who tells the story of how he met his, or when he met his Sheikh, Sheikh al-Albani, rahimahullah, the great late muhaddith. And he had traveled to Jordan to go meet him, and the Sheikh invited him to his house. And he said that when the Sheikh was like preparing food, Sheikh Abu Ishaq was like, I mean, he's the Sheikh and he's old. I can't just sit down like a guest while he's getting me plates and stuff. So he jumped up to try to help him. And the Sheikh told him to sit down. And then the Sheikh would go back into the kitchen and come back bringing more plates. And the Sheikh Abu Ishaq, would jump up also to try to, help Sheikh al-Albani. Sheikh al-Albani would tell him to sit down again. And then like the third time, he told him, he said, sit down, al-imtithal huwa al-adab. He said, taking directions is adab. Taking directions is adab, or listening is adab. And so that was like the line that he remembered. Al-imtithal huwa al-adab. And that goes to show adab isn't a science as much as it's an art. Science meaning, science is you put in these factors and it will come out like this every time. But adab is an art. You might have learned that you should help somebody who's older. Adab is for you to help get the plates or what have you, stuff like that. But if that's going to fluster that person, then at that point in time, that's not adab. Or if that person doesn't want you to do it for whatever reason, that at that point of time, you following the rule book is not going to be adab. I remember one time I had picked up Sheikh Hatim al-Hajj from the airport. So he's young, mashallah. He's not like old or anything like that. And he's pulling his luggage behind him. And I pick him up from the airport, but he's my sheikh and I'm supposed to grab his, I'm the host and he's the guest or whatever it is. So even if he was just a regular guest, he wasn't my sheikh, I still would have grabbed the luggage from them. And so I reach out to grab his luggage and he pushes me off and he gives me like this smooth line. He says, "Al-mar'u awla bi mata'ihi." He says, a person has more right to their luggage. So I like that line. So then I'm traveling to another city. And this time I'm the instructor and a guy picks me up and I'm pulling my luggage and the guy reaches for my luggage and I push him off and he's Arab, so he'll understand. I go, "Al-mar'u awla bi mata'i." I give him the same line that Sheikh Hadim gave me. And so the guy looks at me in both eyes and then he dives for my luggage. I'm like, now we went from me giving him a smooth line to me like fighting him for my luggage. And then he's still trying to go for it. And I'm like, yo, let go of my luggage, man. But no. And then finally I let it go. And he's so happy because he showed me hospitality and I'm annoyed. Like I just met this guy and I don't want to talk to him anymore. I have to get into a car with this guy. I'm flustered. I'm upset, but he's happy because he showed me adab. And I'm like, that's not the objective of adab. So a lot of times people, they try to communicate particular rules. We had a sheikh come at the masjid here a couple of weeks ago and he gave a khutbah and he said, adab, respecting your parents, is to never walk in front of them. And adab is this. And he's giving guidelines from 1400 years ago in Arabia, right? Not realizing that adab changes from culture to culture, even from person to person. The way that I show adab to one person, it's all about the result. The result is respecting your parents. That's what the result is. And so for some parents, it might be respecting them is by having a conversation with them. I've seen some kids debate with their parents very passionately and they didn't cross the line of adab. Whereas you have some kids, if they debate with their parents, that will be considered to be incredibly disrespectful. And so it all goes back to what is the result that is required and how you achieve that result, navigating that is what adab is. So just a couple of examples. It's an art form, it's not a science. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.